Okay, so what we're going to have a look at today is an app on the iPad called Adobe Voice, and we're also going to have a look at how this app can be used with younger kids as a presentation tool. The benefit to using Adobe Voice, with the example I'm using here, is it basically relies on the kids putting together some pictures and clip art, a few key words to tell a story. So if you've got kids that are reluctant writers or have difficulty putting a lot of words down for whatever reason, whether it's some sort of learning disability or whether they just have difficulty getting motivated to do this, this is a really great tool to introduce them to. It's far less complicated than something like Microsoft PowerPoint or Keynote, and I honestly think once you see it in a moment, you'll see the potential for this, because it actually looks a lot better than Microsoft PowerPoint and Keynote in what it presents as a finished product. So this template, which I'll share with you, which is also attached in this article also, is sort of the driving force behind what we're going to do with it today. And the whole idea of this is to tell us about whatever it is that you want to learn about. So say, for instance, if you had some students learning about dolphins, you can change this around any way you want to suit any age group, but I've sort of targeted it to your younger age group students, probably your 6 to 9 year old kids, but definitely could change it around to work with older kids. So if this was going to be about dolphins, they'd write in here, the purpose of my story is to inform people about dolphins. And I don't want to mess up all the formatting and everything on that now. And this is where they're going to put some references in here about where they found their information from, so that we know that they haven't just copied and pasted slabs of information off the internet. So what they're going to do here is write in what they're actually going to say, because the great thing about Adobe Voice is it gives you around about 10 seconds to tell a story per picture, and anytime you go over that, it sort of almost gives you a warning to say hurry up, because it wants your voice and the picture to quickly tell a story. So what they might do in the first slide is have a title slide about dolphins, and they might talk about their habitat, what dolphins eat, some 2 interesting facts about dolphins, and then on the end of it they might have some something that's a fun fact related to dolphins. And alongside here, when we see Adobe Voice in just a moment, they either can insert a picture, an icon, or words, or a mixture of those things to go with it. So this is what I'm going to say in here, and then what's going to go with it. So if you just give me a moment to load up Adobe Voice. So as I said, Adobe Voice is a free app on the iPad only at this stage. I think it is coming out for Android devices, but if you haven't got this in your classroom, it's really a bit of a must-have. So I'll pull it up now. Alright, so what you're seeing now is my iPad screen over the top here, and I'm just going to fire up Adobe Voice. Let's have a look at what this does. So if you've never used this before, this is a really simple product for putting together great visual content, and you can look at the example ones here. There's tutorials in it on how to use it and different things like that. And you can either save your videos to the camera roll, or there's a website that you'll get a link to, and you can save them up in the cloud if you don't want to fill up your iPads full of them too. So what we're going to do is create a new story. Now I'll stick with my example here that I had of dolphins, and obviously I would have had all my information written down for this, and then we're just going to say next. Now this is a great thing. This sort of changes around the format that you want to that you'll get for your templates and different things. So you're either like sharing, you're teaching a lesson, you're showing and telling, you're explaining something, you're telling what happened in a recount. So I think in my case I'm going to say that I am just explaining something, and you can sort of tweak these around any way you want to work for you. I'm just going to say pick this one, and then it's as simple as this: record a line of your story, pick an image or something to go with it, and we'll see how this all comes together. Okay, so this is the screen that you'll come to. There are tutorials you can view within this. This explains everything and how it works within Adobe Voice, but it's as easy as this. So I'm going to add something to my screen. These are my 5 slides down the bottom that I've got here. So you can see down the bottom it says hook, the subject, first fact, but you don't have to put them in that order or anything you want. So anytime I hit the plus button in the center, I get the choice of an icon, which is pretty much like clip art that you might have seen in Microsoft Office, a photo, or we can just put text in there. So at the moment, you can only add one of those things, and I'll show you later on how you add more to that. So I'm just going to go with text, and I'm going to type in here dolphins. As I type, it will get smaller to fit the page that it's on, and then I need to hold to record. So all I need to do is hold down this orange button and say, hi, my name's Kevin and this is my project about dolphins. Now basically that's my first slide done. In my second slide here, I'm going to put a picture in here, and so I'm going to go for a photo this time. And this is the great thing about this, you can either use photos from your iPad or you can find photos on the internet, which I really find useful. So I'm just going to type in here dolphins and hit search, and I think this one's a great picture for what I want. Give it a moment just to sort of download to my presentation. And then I can sort of move that around. And I'll show you how you can change these things also. So this is slide number 2, and I'm going to say something about this too. Dolphins are very intelligent mammals that live in the ocean. Now if I made a mistake, all I need to do is just press that hold to record button, and it will re-record what it is that I'm putting down here. Okay, so anytime you want to go back and see what your presentation's like, all you need to do is you can pick the slide that you want to view. So I'm going to go back to my first slide, and I just simply hit the play button and say, hi, my name's Kevin and this is my project about dolphins. And if I want to view the whole thing together, if you look down on the bottom left hand side, there's a play button, and this will play it in sort of widescreen. And say, hi, my name's Kevin and this is my project about dolphins. Dolphins are very intelligent mammals that live in the ocean. And I'll get out of that now. Now it would have gone through the other slides, but obviously I haven't put anything in them. I'm just going to show you some other things. I'm not going to put all 5 slides in here. I'm going to show you some other things you can do with this to really jazz it up and make it have a little bit more impact. So some other things you can put in here are icons, and if you put in something like, if you want something like the ocean, it will find clip art associated with the ocean. So let's have a look at what we've got here. I could choose any of these. Let's just say, for instance, I wanted to put in the fin. Just give it a moment to download, and there's heaps across the top there, as you can see, hundreds and hundreds of different ones. I'm sure you can find one of them that's relevant to you. There's a dolphin one there that might be really useful. And I'll show you how you get 2 things on the one screen in just a moment. So when you can see down the bottom here, I've added this dolphin to my 5th slide. If I want to change any of these things in any way, I just click on the little, I can either delete them, so if I just want to get rid of that one altogether, I can do that. And if I want to add slides, I can just add slides to this too. But let's say on my next slide I wanted to have more than just a picture or one thing. If I click on the layout button, which you'll see up the top here, I get the option of 1 thing, 2 things, a full screen photo, a thing in a caption, or there's a few different options. So in this case, I might go for a thing in a caption. So I might have another picture of a photo, another photo of a dolphin, and I think what I'll put in here is a word, and I might use the word pod. And I might say my fact for this page might be this: a group of dolphins is called a pod. And then I can move down the bottom, I can move any of these around in any order that I want, and you can see my slideshow is building up across the bottom. Just some final things before I finish up here. If you want to change the theme of your slideshow in any way, you can just click on any of these ones here. So this one here with the beach background and everything might be one that's relevant to me, or watercolor gives them a totally different theme. So you just really need to have a play around with these and find ones that work for you. And also you would have noticed there's a bit of music in the background. So there's all these little different tunes. Some are playful, relaxed, tense, whatever it is you want. And if you just click on one, I want my, that's going to be the background music, and it just keeps looping and over until I'm finished. So let's have a bit of a look at what my presentation would be at this time. And say, hi, my name's Kevin and this is my project about dolphins. Dolphins are very intelligent mammals that live in the ocean. A group of dolphins is called a pod. Now obviously I didn't add any more to it, I'm just trying to save a bit of time. But if you put these two things together, my template here that I've sort of provided at the start, I've spoken about this, and that free app, the Adobe Voice app, you can do some really cool things with this program, and it's so much easier to use than PowerPoint and Keynote. And I don't care whether you're 6 years old or 56 years old, I honestly think you can create some really innovative, professional looking presentations on this that have far more impact because it uses your voice and pictures and different things than a boring old text and simple visual presentation. So that's this week's idea, tutorial around Adobe Voice and the template that goes with it. I hope you liked it, and let me know if you've got any thoughts or ideas around how you've used Adobe Voice in the classroom. Thanks a lot.